this is David with NTI Online, and today we're going to go over error code T2.2. Now, strictly speaking, error code T2.2 is not an error code. It's the version of the software on the controller. Every time you power your boiler down and power it back up, you should see this code show on the screen briefly. It's 3 to 5 seconds. It'll flash this funny looking T2.2, and then it should go into normal operation. In some cases though, usually when the sentry goes bad, you'll see this flashing repeatedly. It'll come on for a few seconds, turn off, come back on. This may occur during a heating or a hot water call. In all cases, the troubleshooting is basically the same. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to your sentry controller, find the C wire on the bottom of the control. So it's the middle screw. It should have a green wire. Follow that wire back and make sure that it is grounded securely. This is especially important if the control has been replaced. If you follow that back and you're sure you've got a good ground there, and if you're not sure, you can actually make your own ground wire by putting a wire here and just screwing it to the cabinet of the boiler. The next thing is going to be to verify that the 120 volts is consistent and proper. If for some reason you have an open neutral, that can cause this error code to show up. And what you're going to want to do there is we're going to go to the terminal strip on the right side of the sentry. You've got a black and a white wire coming in. You're going to go white to black. You should have 120 volts. White to ground should have 0. And black to ground should be 120 volts. That's your standard voltage check. Now if that passes, and for example, I've had this a few times, the boiler will only go to a 2.2 when the central heating turns on. I have had cases where there's a low water cutoff that breaks 120 volts to the boiler, and a bubble or something like that gets pushed up past the low water cutoff every time the boiler kicks on because it turns the pump on, and that causes an issue. There have been cases where an open neutral on a pump or something, or potentially a neutral that's disconnected improperly, can cause this error code. So check all of your neutral wiring, tighten up the wire nuts in the junction box. If there is an external device, bypass it. If you've checked all that stuff and it's still doing the same thing, the very last thing you can do, and this is fairly rare, but sometimes it happens, pull off this red plug at the top of the boiler. What that's going to do is remove any external demands from thermostats, from aquastats, outdoor sensors. And then using a jumper wire, just grab my jumper here. Using a jumper wire, manually jump out the call by jumping A and C on the bottom of the sentry, or C and T. If the problem goes away when you do that, you may have something external that's applying a voltage to the boiler. This can happen if the thermostats have been replaced or the zone control's been modified. In some cases, and fairly rare, but could happen, if somebody zip tied some thermostat wires to a high voltage line in the house, like a stove maybe or something like this, that can induce a voltage in those wires. Fairly rare, but worth checking. If you've checked all that though, and you still get the problem, it is a bad sentry control and you'll want to replace that. This also applies to error code T4.1 on the TI 400 boilers. T4.1, again, it's the version of the software, but if it's blinking repeatedly, it usually means the control memory's gone bad and it's just rebooting continuously and you need a new controller. Hope that helps with your troubleshooting. If you have any questions, give us a call at tech support 800-688-2575. Thanks for watching the video today. If you'd like to check out more videos, see the link below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for all the future updates. And also check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.